This is very exciting. I mean, we were talking earlier in the show that we have now in our employ here someone who is trying to recreate what Allison did for our show many years ago, where if we were talking about something, she could find pretty instantaneously that person wherever they are or were in the world and bring them to us. So while we cannot get Grandma, we have not gotten close enough to Grandma. I'm assuming she's waiting for her Good Morning America interview. Yeah. We have gotten her grandson, Drew Saltzman. He was handling the camera when Grandma went into the sea between the boat and the dock. I don't know where you guys were. Drew, thank you for joining us. I'm going to start with, I'm assuming Grandma's okay or you wouldn't be doing interviews.
Thanks for having me. And it's Grammy. But yes, Grammy's doing
Dan,
all right.
get it right.
That's a fine.
And yeah, I mean, like, it was really scary in the moment. And 5 minutes later, she somehow miraculously was okay. But the trip went on as planned, and it was just a little blip in the road.
Okay, no, it's not a little blip. It is your Grammy, excuse me, fell into what? Where are we? Where is this video?
We're in Split, Croatia, and we're on her 80th birthday party. Whoa. So she brought the whole fam out. We were getting on a boat for a week, and it was the grand embarkment, and it was a big deal. All eyes were on Grammy. Like, Grammy's first on the boat. She paid for the trip. Like, so there was a lot of pressure, high pressure situation.
Excuse me. Has Grammy been on a boat before?
Grammy, the odds of her being in the first in the water were probably plus 100,000. I've never seen her with her hair wet.
Oh wow!
So,
wow.
Okay.
Now you have.
Okay. So take us through though. She's been on a boat before. Like what part of this was she not understanding? What did she miss? Other than the step.
I don't know if she's really been on that many boats. And my dad was telling a story about when she was like telling him what she's going to do for her 80th birthday. He's like, "You're going on a boat? Like, do you have dementia? Are you losing your mind? Like, that's not your type of your scene." But I mean, it ended up being an incredible time.
Drew, I have a question for you. Did she fall into the water? Yes. Was she caught? What happened afterwards? How did you get her out? What went on?
It's a lot of questions. Yeah, you have more than one question.
What happened when the camera goes off? Yeah.
So the video kind of cuts it short. There's a longer version where you hear like the screams of terror and like she can't swim, and she can't swim. And the two captains that were right there. Shout out to Rocco. He immediately jumps in, and they save her and they got her out. But yeah, they immediately jumped in the water, like no hesitation.
She fell all the way in, not just her feet.
No, she was fully submerged.
How angry were we at these guys, the useless hand helpers here?
Rocco.
I mean, that's who we're blaming for this, right?
Rocco should have caught her.
Then I found out he was the trip captain, and I was like, he was completely embarrassed. And we talked to him now, and he's like, that play runs through my brain every single day of my life.
I bet you it doesn't happen to him again. I bet you that never happens to them again.
Then it became a running joke. Like every time Grammy's getting on the boat, obviously have to use all caution.
I have a number of different questions, though. I still have many questions. How long would it have taken before you would have been the one to jump in? Because there are certain perils involved here. Like what was happening with you? Because you were holding the camera.
So I'm actually not the one holding the camera. It's my cousin's fiance, and I'm in there. I'm in the background, the one with the glasses. Like, there's a frame you can see, and the thoughts running through my head are like, "Oh my God! Like, is the trip over? Like, is Grammy okay?"
Is the trip over? That's the order that it happened. Is Grammy okay? Have we just lost all our funds for the trip at the bottom of the sea? And also Grammy has perished.
I wasn't so worried about Grammy like sinking or anything. I know she can't swim, but it's someone went in to get her. I was worried like if she hit her head, like broke a leg, broke her hip or something, um, and she didn't. She actually only had a little bruise on her elbow.
Wow.
There's something about Croatian waters that seems scarier than average waters. Just hearing
Wait,
Croatian
If
waters.
this had happened in Key Biscayne, you're
Yeah,
fine.
I'm not fine, but just more fine. I think I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm profiling Croatian waters in a way that's not fair. How deep was the water she fell into?
It was deep enough for the boat to be docked. So I don't think she hit the bottom.
So how much did she sink? How scared did she say she
You
was?
said she was fully submerged.
I heard her yell, "Get me a towel. Get me a towel, get me a chair." And then I knew she was okay.
That is the international sign for being okay, is you call for a towel.
Do you have any idea what the panic was for her if she doesn't know how to swim and she doesn't know how deep the waters are? And furthermore, I don't know how turbulent the waters were, so I don't know if she runs the risk of the boat coming back and pressing her against the dock.
Yeah, a lot of people were really scared. I think I was trying to be more rational and think and hope that she was okay, but I'm sure in the moment, like she was terrified and just like she didn't panic. She handled it great, I think. And some of my cousins were hysterically crying. Shout out Brooke.
Drew, where are you guys? You say that your granny doesn't swim or Grammy.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Fine.
Okay, Drew, where are you guys based? Where are you from? And is boating, if not swimming, have you guys done that before?
We're from Baltimore and big boat culture there.
Yeah,
but
seafaring town.
Culture.
Yeah, we're not boat people, I wouldn't say.
How much danger was she in of the boat pressing up against the dock and just in general?
They had the fender there. You can see the fender.
The fender, is that what it's called on a
Dan,
boat?
you're a bit obsessed with this visual.
Well, because this is why I'm telling you, I'm scared of a number of things here. It's not just drowning that I'm scared of here. And those guys had to act quickly to save her life. Like, I don't know how heavy she was, and I don't know how easy it was. What are you doing?
And how old is she, too?
She's 80. I don't know how
I was
easy
making
it
an
is.
age and weight joke.
I don't know how easy it is to get her out of the water.
Part of what made the video so great was like the mystery about it. You don't see where she goes, and you don't know what's down there.
She disappears.
And you don't get to see her. She disappears. That's the alternate angle. I mean, I can't believe the fact that she didn't hit her head is insane. I don't know how many.
Crazy.
Like, how many times could you replicate that fall without hitting your head, or I don't know.
Drew, how does she feel about this video being on the internet?
So my whole family, we're in the group chat. It's been going off lately, and when it started going viral, we kind of had a separate chat without Grammy, and we're talking about it, like how's this going to proceed? Like Barstool texted my sister saying this video is about to be posted and it's about to be super viral, and I'm just warning you now.
It's about to be super viral. Let me ask you a question, Drew. You mentioned that, like, she said, "Get me a towel, get me a chair," and that's when you knew she was okay. And then the trip went on as planned. Was she just soaking on that whole trip?
They got her a towel.
No, well, do you think a towel? You think you fall in the water like that? A towel is gonna?
You think your question is, was she wet for a long time
For
afterwards?
days, you thought she was wet?
That's your question.
No, the boat trip. Her clothes would not dry off.
It was like
with
a week
towel.
trip. It was a week trip they were going on.
Yeah, we were on the boat for a while.
So you had a suit. She had her clothes with her, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but she was wet while the captain was introducing himself and the whole crew, and they brought us champagne and like martinis. Since she was wet that whole time, her hair was a little wet. She had a towel around her, and everyone was coming up to her individually, being like, "Are you okay? Like, that's really scary." But I mean, it ended up working out.
Stugotz actually just texted in a question for me to ask you here. Did you guys parlay this into a cheaper cruise? Like, did you guys get a discount on the trip because of this fall?
Because of the failure of Grammy's caretakers.
The cruise, the ship just texted us, and we're like, we have an open spot from June 2nd to July 2nd, or not June to July, that's a month, like for a week in June. And I don't know if they were offering that for free for us or if we maybe get a discounted rate, but maybe we'll go back.
Drew, do you have anywhere on you this family chat you speak of that didn't include Grammy that we can read together as the as the family asks whatever the questions are about what was she thinking and how did she not know that she needed to take a step there?
I can read you one thing that is from my Uncle Alan. He said, "Drew, do not go on that show. Just flake on them and tell them that they don't have permission to use any additional videos."
Good joke.
I don't think it's a joke. I think his uncle's just giving him the advice. Don't do that.
Must be a lawyer.
Don't spread Grammy's disgrace all over the internet. Don't allow it.
Now, Drew, we've got some exclusive footage here of Grammy afterwards happily dancing and kissing her husband. And she's wearing a T-shirt that says Grammy Goes Wild, and it says Croatia 2022. Did that happen 2 years ago?
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
And
So
it just went viral now.
that's why we were so confused why this is going viral. Like, we don't know who sent them the video.
Goddamn
And the shirts-
Instagram Reels. Link to everything.
The shirt says Grammy Goes Wild, but it should have said Grammy Goes Overboard.
Yes, it should have. Drew, thank you. We really were proud of our guest booker until we realized that as soon as she fell in the water, we got her 2 years later. Thank you very much for being on with us. We appreciate the story, Drew.
Thanks, Dan. I appreciate it too.
We're the slow report.
Really slow. Really slow.
Yeah.
I wonder if Amin wants to ask her if she's dried off since in the 2 years
Weird
since.
question.
Has she been soaking this whole time?
Shout out Uncle
Hell
Alan.
yeah.
Shout out Uncle Alan. All right. Thanks, Gal.